like, listen up. I was going to take them all down. You don't want to know.
Give us like the whole story.
I shouldn't be doing this. It's probably why I don't do podcasts. I'm going to say too much. To start off, I was like the help for the show.
The comments are brutal.
I was being called white trash.
Anyone that you're not loving on the cast?
I probably shouldn't say.
Let me just say it.
What is happening off air that we didn't see?
I'm going to try to say this without getting fired.
I'm like on the edge of my seat. Michael has been watching Southern Charm since Thomas. That's who he initially fell in love with on the show.
I know. We need him back, to be honest.
Well, because as a viewer and as a fan of the show, I'd never seen anything like that. I was like, this is wild. You know what I mean?
We've never seen anything like it either. I mean,
the mix of him and Patricia to kick that show off was out of control.
That guy was
so
made for television.
yeah.
It's really true.
My favorite part was when he stood up at the table and he just goes down the line and he's like, and you suck and you are poor and all. I mean, I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. Well, the show is amazing. There's so many different colorful dynamics that you guys have really, in my opinion, hit the gold mine when it comes to reality TV. As a viewer, I'm like on the edge of my seat waiting.
I've got a weird thing too where because I get to do this show, I get even more invested when I meet the people on the show.
Right.
But I have a hard time watching it until I'm that invested. But now that we're meeting, like I'll be yelling at the TV, like, don't do that to her.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Anyways.
Okay, you got to give us the background of what was going on before you were on the show because you were working with Patricia. Give us like the whole story.
Okay. So, I mean, to start off, I was like the help for the show. I was doing all the glam. I was the hair and makeup artist, had my own little trailer. I was
entrepreneurial.
Yeah. I mean, I was running a salon. I was doing the best I could. I was making good money. But they were like, wait, this girl, we've got to get her in front of the camera, not behind the camera. And then I kind of started, dating one of the guys on the show, and that's when it all took off.
Now, when you're dating him, were you like thinking this is the one, I'm going to be in love with him forever? Or was this just like a fun situation?
Absolutely not. Like I knew instantly he wasn't like husband material. Sorry. But You're
here for 2 minutes and that's going to be a headline.
Yeah, I know. I literally was like, I shouldn't be doing this. It's probably why I don't do podcasts. I'm going to say too much.
We should have got you drunk.
I know.
Before.
That's what Erica Jane told me my problem was on TV. She's like, your problem is you're sober. I was like, well, not like sober all the time. I'm just sober right now. Yeah.
I think that when you give you a little alcohol, you let it rip.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about you on
Bring
the show.
them in.
Yeah. get the champagne. Yeah. So going into dating Austin that he's just like for fun.
I mean, honestly, we had a friendship. We should have just stuck with that. And I guess, I don't know, I was divorced for probably 4 years when him and I started dating. So I really wasn't ready to jump into a marriage or anything.
And give the audience a little bit of background. You have a son.
Yeah.
You were married for how long? Give us a little background story.
So I was married for 4 years. I had my son when I was 22, so I was very young. He's 12 now.
Wow.
I know. It's great. Yeah, I love it. I got divorced pretty much immediately, which was a good thing, but we co-parent well. And my son is the best thing that's ever happened to me, honestly.
What's going on with the water with these boys in Charleston? They're very like rowdy. I feel like they're hard to tame.
Yes. I mean, let's just say Charleston is a place you go and visit when you're traveling, and they know that it's just like import of girls all the time. And there's 8-to-1 ratio. So there's 8 females for 1 male. So why not have 3 girlfriends?
I'd go lesbian.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it's just like you're fighting an uphill battle at that point.
Yeah. You got to date outside of the box.
Have you always lived in Charleston?
Well, 16 years.
And where were you before?
Greenville, South Carolina. So upstate.
So always
born
in
and
South
raised.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when the show is around, do you feel the bug that you need to be on television? Because you have a star sparkle about you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
You do.
Thank you.
Like immediately you can tell.
Not really. I just kind of, actually the first year I got on the show, I wasn't sure that they were even talking about me because I was like a day rate kind of girl. They were like, oh, come to this party. We'll pay you like $1,000. And I'm like, okay, sure. And then I didn't realize the whole show was based around me. And then that's when it all kicked the hornet's nest. And
so when you watch the show back and you see the whole show is about you, from a business standpoint, are you like, I'm upping my rate? And also, are you happy about it, or were you kind of like, eh?
Well, I felt like I didn't have a voice. You know, it was the guys speaking for me. And, you know, I was being called white trash. You know, I was a service worker, all these things. I wasn't born into money that was just mailed to my house in a mailbox. So for me, it kind of ticked me off just enough to be successful at it.
You came back, I feel like the season after that with a vendetta. You were like, I felt like you were like, I'm taking my voice back.
Oh, yeah.
Was that like thought out, or was it just, did it just come out?
It just came naturally. I didn't even really have to try. I just
What was
knew.
the reaction when you started doing that? Were they like, whoa, what's going on? The person that was the day rate is now like screaming at all of us and taking over the show and, you know, having a much greater voice. Like, were they positive to that or to that, you know, experience, or were they like, whoa, tone it down?
I definitely think my showmates were a little taken back, but they were upset that they probably introduced me to the group because they realized real quick I wasn't going to have it. I was going to take them all down, at least the ones that pissed me off.
Is it all real behind the scenes, or is it like set up?
It's pretty real. I mean, obviously there's going to be situations that I wouldn't put myself in, like, you know, having a drink with an ex, but it is real from that point on. Once we walk in, we sit down, it's real.
And you're very good friends with Patricia, who's sort of like the matriarch of the show. She's absolutely fabulous. What advice did she give you going into the show?
Be myself. That was her advice.
Check.
Yep. Check.
So as your relationship with Austin, who if you guys haven't watched Southern Charm, you have to. It's the best show ever. Is sort of crumbling on air. What is happening off air that we didn't see?
You know, these friendships, especially the guys, they're genuine. I mean, they're real friendships and a lot of emotions. I think they cry more than the girls cry on this show. And, you know, it's endearing, but they really have a bromance going, and they fight all the time.
When people from South Carolina dig you, it's like a piece of cornbread with jalapenos in it.
What the hell does that mean?
Meaning like you think you're taking a nice bite of honey cornbread and there's a little spice.
Why are you trying to do an accent?
Yeah, hey, by the end of this, y'all both will have an accent.
I know, I'm kind of getting an accent going.
Hold on, I have no idea what that analogy was. Like
meaning like you don't, it's not like New York and LA is very curt with the way I think that they.
When you say dig you, do you mean like dig like a me or dig like they dig you?
The way you dig is different.
Oh, like when you kind of like slice
you know what
someone.
I'm saying? When you like give a little fighting word, it's different.
Right. You're like, did I just get insulted or maybe
Okay, I get it
not?
now. I had honestly
It's
the
Southern Charm.
cornbread and the
Keep
jalapeno
up.
in your
Yeah.
accent.
Keep
went right
up. It's like a
Well,
piece
it's
of
like a
cornbread.
spiked sweet tea, you know?
It's like a spicy sweet.
You were gonna try to do the accent again. Weren't you? I know it too well.
I love the accent. I mean, I could go
Thank
and live
you.
there if the guy to ratio wasn't that. Whew,
That's okay.
that's rough.
What's crazy is I don't think I have an accent, but
Oh, you got an accent.
Yeah,
You
I
got a
don't-
real one. Lauren, I don't know about
I
that.
love the accent. I think it's so pretty.
thank you.
Don't ever lose the accent.
Yeah.
So as you're going on the show and you meet your now husband, who seems to me that he's very quietly confident and doesn't feel like he wants to even be a part of it.
Not at all.
What is happening with that behind the scenes while all this is going on?
Oh, he's looking at me and he's like, Madison, do I have to really go to this black tie party? And I'm like, yes, you do. It's okay.
So
But-
he doesn't want to do it?
No,
Like he doesn't want to go to the party, or he doesn't want to be on camera.
he doesn't want to either one,
Either one.
really. Yeah. I mean, the guy's
Okay.
not made for, I think he's made for camera, but he just isn't interested. He's private. He's a little shy until you like really get to know him.
Well, I analyze these shows again as a fan and a viewer, and I think that speaking of ratios, a lot of the time these shows don't work very well for the men. Like it doesn't turn out well for the men. Like just to even
Yeah.
talk about Thomas or some of the guys that are on Housewives, we know a lot of this. I think it works a lot more of the time in the woman's favor. Like you can go and build a life and a career and you know, and all sorts of great things. And people are like, oh, they fall in love with the character. But the guys, a lot of times, like, why are you in the ladies' fight? Why are you involved here? What do you like? It's a weird thing for the guys. And a lot of times I feel like they get put in these situations where it's like it's a lose-lose for them.
Right. I mean, obviously, the first thing you think is like, okay, this is my marriage. This is the one thing I'm going to protect from everything. But also, it is my life and my reality. And you're not going to know me until you meet who I'm surrounded with every day. And so I have to pressure him in that sense, but also protect him because he didn't sign up for this. So I'm very protective. And especially this new season, you'll see that.
I think that you do a good job of balancing that. I can feel that, the energy and the undertone of that. I think that you're like, this is my job. I'm going to do it 100%. But like you said, he didn't sign up for this. So like, we'll pepper him in. But like I always say about my kids on my Instagram story, my kids are extras on my Instagram story.
Right.
They're not the main character. They're not a sporting character. Maybe you'll see them like once every 2 weeks here and there. You're not going to see me potty training them and their first words and them walking and like them on the first day of school every year. Like you're just not. So I think that that's how I see it as a viewer. It's like he is sort of like an extra to your life. You don't need to show your entire marriage because you feel confident in it.
Right. For sure.
I don't know if that's...
No, I mean, listen, it annoys me all the time when you have people on social media who are like, oh, you're never with your kid or you're never with your husband. And you're like, wow, did you just see the Instagram story for the last week? That's why you say things like that. It's hurtful, but deep down, I know that it's just back.
Well, I could get that. I mean, if I was doing what you were doing, I'd be very hesitant to put my family in that situation for the visibility of the world all the time, right? But I feel like, again, doing what you do, I would say like, this is a curated environment. We can sit down in our studio and I can control it and I don't have to get in fights with Lauren's friends and all that. But, you know, it's not the same. Like speaking of having a voice, like we produce this, what we say is like what goes out. You guys are filming with an ensemble cast and you don't always have say over the end. And then there's this weird dynamic that exists. And I see this all the time. We work with a lot of people in your shoes that do these kind of shows where people on the internet that comment on something like this is completely different than them commenting on a reality show. Like they feel like they can go in on everything and the comments are brutal.
Yeah, that's the worst part about this job. That and the reunion. I mean,
have you gotten a thicker skin because of the comments?
I mean, I've always kind of had a thick skin, thanks to my mother. But, you know, it's just one of those things that every day I feel like I've heard everything under the sun about myself or my family. So, yeah, you tend to block it out.
What rattles you at this point?
I think it's definitely my son and my husband. I mean, for me, I really don't care what anyone says about me, but to this point. But for them, like I said, they didn't sign up for it. So they're innocent.
People need to understand, too, that an Instagram story is like 1 to 2 minutes of your whole day.
Yeah. Yeah. And some of it's not even happening in actual real time.
So for people to say you never see your blank or you're never with your blank, it's 1 to 2 minutes of the day.
Right.
It's kind of like a really broad assumption to say that.
No, I know.
I think that that's like a dig that they think will get you.
Yeah.
But you're actually living in your own life. You have been very honest about huge celebrities that have slid into your DMs before you were married. What do you do when you get on television? You're this beautiful blonde and you get all these huge celebrities DMing you. Is it like flattering? Are you going on dates with them? Are you grossed out? Like, what's the vibe?
I'm honest. Well, at this time when this was happening, I was like, am I being catfished? You know, like I'm just a girl from the South that's like small town. Like there's no way that these A-list celebrities are interested at that point. And then to come to find out it was real. But that's when you then get grossed out because you're like, actually, you're a pig.
I know. That's exactly kind of what I was getting at. You almost are like, ew.
Yeah.
Like it's like cheaty vibe.
Very.
When you come out with all of this information, what was the behind the scenes like?
Oh man, that's behind the scenes is rough when you're trying to navigate and then it comes out to the public that like this has actually happened. And then people call you liars and of course. But I'm like, why would I ever lie about that?
Well, also you have the screenshots.
Right.
So I don't think, and I'm just going to go ahead and say that whatever you said is probably 100 times worse with 100 more people.
Yes.
I would guess.
Yes.
So people are even lucky that you even said something.
Right.
When you met your husband and you guys got married, what did you guys talk about behind the scenes about the show? Did you set parameters or boundaries, or has it been something where you just threw yourself into it?
We just kind of threw ourselves into it, and we just knew that the main focus was obviously our marriage, and whatever happened, we made sure that was the main source of not dragging in the outside noise.
So what has this season been like compared to last? What are we going to see differently?
I mean, so this year's it's my most emotional year I've ever had. So I'm dealing with like my dad had just passed when I started airing with this. So I was very emotional, worked up. I was still grieving at that point. My husband was going through some health issues, which was obviously very scary. Trying to have a baby, all of these real things that were actually happening, and then filming a show with people who didn't really know what was going on behind closed doors.
You were very open about the loss of your father.
Mm-hmm.
Since losing your father, what have you done differently in your own life? Is there something that he taught you that you're applying every single day?
Well, I mean, I would say this without trying to cry, but I think that obviously me and my husband just celebrated our 2-year wedding anniversary. And I swear, I think my dad put him in my life just because I feel so safe. And I always felt like that with my dad around. But there was a fear of me when I lost my dad, like, oh my God, who am I going to, call on when I need something? And then my husband has obviously just been there 1,000%. And
he's a good one, huh?
Very good.
He's not from Charleston.
No, California.
Mine's from California too.
Look at him.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty good one.
I do like a guy from California. I do. So you have had, in my opinion, one of the most incredible changes physically that I've ever seen. And I think from watching your stories, a big part of that is through weightlifting.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give our audience all your secrets. I know you seem very militant about how you handle what you eat, your workouts, your body. I love it.
Yeah.
Give us every single detail.
Well, I've been seeing your weightlifting, so good for you.
You really inspired me a lot. I always like to watch your stories. You're she works so hard in the gym. I've never seen anyone work so hard. You're like David Goggins.
No. Well, I will say the working out, I've always been athletic, but it didn't consume my life. But there were times when it was a little extreme. I was working out too much. I was under eating, but I know that the focus is just to feel good. And that's the main thing that I try to do to my day to day. Obviously, the eating is, I feel like, one of the number one reasons to being in shape and looking healthy. But the weightlifting for me, instead of going to therapy, I would just go lift weights. That was my escape.
What kickstarted it? Did you see yourself on TV and be like, I want to change this? Or was it before TV?
It was after TV. Obviously, the camera will add 10 pounds, but
rough.
It is rough. So I look at that and I said, you know what? The goal is to be above average. I feel like I looked fine, but I can do better than this. So that's when I just dedicated, 6 days a week. I mean, I was leaving these workouts and I was throwing up outside of the car because I would push myself to the point.
Michael, she's gnarly with her workouts.
I think that's a great message. I think a lot of people are hesitant to say that they want to be above average these days for whatever reason. And I always go on these big tangents. I think it's commendable to say I want to be above average and I can be above average, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are just it's that message is looked down upon sometimes these days. But I think that's the whole point of human potential is if you can be above average, why would you not try?
Yeah, I mean, you're never gonna know until you try it.
Have you always weightlifted, or was this something that you started doing later in life? Because a lot of women, I mean, now we talk about a lot on the show, but I found I've always weightlifted my whole life, but it was strange to me when she started doing it. I was like, oh, is this something I didn't attribute to thinking that women even did when I was younger?
Yeah, I actually have done it for quite some time, but not to the extent. I mean, it was the weightlifting for me, it was a little scary because I didn't want to bulk up. I was a little heavier at the time, so I was scared. But then that's when the weight kind of started to shed off when I did lift a little heavier.
You almost have to you gain you gain the muscle, and then you still, like for me, I still had the fat on me. And so you feel like you're regressing.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it drops.
I always find it so funny when women say they don't want to bulk up. I'm like, do you understand that men go to the gym like every single day just to try to get a little? It's so hard.
It is very hard.
It's not that easy to bulk up.
I mean, everyone's scared of, looking like a thug in a cocktail dress, but at the same time, you just have to take that risk. And like, it does end up working out in your favor, especially I think having the good diet and lifting the weights is the perfect key to.
But you touched on something earlier, which I think is really important. I have younger sisters, and I always tell them, like, listen, if you're starting to not be in the right mental headspace, listen, therapy is great, and betterhelp.com/skinny, of course, use it and all that. Yeah. But I always say, like, if you're not feeling right in your mind, you don't feel good, like, go to the gym and get those endorphins going and get a sweat. Like, it's such a mind shift to just go in there and kind of like beat yourself up a little bit and like get a good sweat in. You don't realize like how much that will do, just that alone. Therapy's great and all that, but like, do that first.
Yeah. I mean, I think a workout can solve 90% of your day-to-day problems.
Especially if it's hard, because you can't think about anything else other than that when you're doing it.
You have to tell our audience exactly like what you eat in a day, your supplements, like what your workout schedule is. They like a lot of detail.
Okay. I've never really done one of like what I eat in a day, because that's so hard to do. I don't know how these women make these videos, but I'm a creature of habit.
Okay.
I do cottage cheese, tomatoes, hard-boiled egg, cucumbers, avocado in the morning. I do AG1 greens. I'm not sponsored. I wish I was. I do love them.
We should sponsor you.
I know.
On your podcast that you're going to launch. Keep going.
I know. I love it.
They're going to reach out now.
Yeah. So lunch for me, I mean, it's really just whatever I can get my hands on. I obviously have probably 2 cups of coffee in between there. I love a good Red Bull, and I know that's probably really bad for me. And then I'm a grill master. I'm actually really good on the grill, and that's kind of what I eat every night.
Steaks, chicken, everything?
Yeah, steaks, chicken, fish.
Everything.
Yeah, everything.
What about alcohol? What's the relationship like with the show? Because if I was on a reality show, I would be drinking every single time we film.
Yeah, I drink every time. And a lot of champagne. Yeah. I'm a little hesitant of liquor. I'm a lightweight, I think. But the champagne, I just love.
Yeah, that's my drink of choice.
Yeah.
Champagne on ice, and I'm good to go.
And I'm like, you know what? I don't care about the sugar. I don't care about the salt. I'll jump in the sauna and I'll lay there for, 45 minutes.
You love cold plunging and sauning. You have a wellness room in your house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
So the sauna is brutal. My husband actually loves it more than me, but he likes to get in there together. And I don't know about you guys, but I hate that.
You don't like to do it with him?
No, because like he's breathing and then it's taking up the little bit of air I have in there. And I'm like, dude, I can't.
Hate when they breathe.
Don't breathe. So yeah, I don't like to do that, but 45 minutes for me. And then I just
45 minutes in the sauna?
Mm-hmm.
Like one round?
One round.
That's a long ass time. What kind of heat are we talking here?
You don't want to know. Like 165.
Okay. That's okay.
Why? What do you do?
No.
When you do 175?
What are you doing?
No. Ours is jacked up. But
Hold
I was
on. No. You can't do that. What is ours?
No, we go to 200.
Oh, okay.
I almost killed Jesse Itzler in our sauna. But again, we're in there for like.
But I'm going to send you the link. He bought this thing that makes it go higher.
Oh, you like took the governor off.
I took the governor off and I bought the upgrade. But anyways. But
I think that may be strategic to do 45 minutes on a little bit lower.
No. But that's still really good to go for that long.
Yeah. It's good for your heart.
Yeah.
But no, but I would die in mine. But
yeah,
I like 15, 20 minute sessions. Then I have to get out.
See, mine only goes to 175, but now if I know I can like pull a little.
I'm going to send your husband the information. Yeah. Take off that governor.
Oh my
gosh. Get that thing boosted up.
And then what's your cold plunge wellness situation?
Okay, this is my number one rule with cold plunge is right when you get in, you send it. Go completely under. Don't even.
Head under.
Yeah, all the way. And then you sit there for 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
And then you're done.
So you do 45, 3 minutes.
Yep, 45, 3 minutes. And then once you get out of the cold plunge, you just want to like walk around the gym or like I just walk around to like naturally let my body heat back up. And I do not get back in the sauna.
And as far as your workouts, you mentioned 6 times a week. What exact workouts are you doing?
So that was when I was weightlifting a lot more. I've chilled out on that right now. I'm doing more like bar classing, like hot Pilates kind of thing right now.
You said that you got like obsessed with it. Is that because of the show? Is that because of a bad relationship? Like why did you get obsessed with it? And when you look back, like what changed?
I mean, obviously you kind of get obsessed with the results.
Yeah.
You're looking at your legs and you're like, I never thought that I could have this definition. And then you get a little too obsessed. And obviously at that point I was single when I was doing all this all the time. And so I wasn't having too much fun. I was just more disciplined. And
then you're in your DMs and there's like the biggest celebrities in the world messaging you. So you're like, this is working. So I'm just going to kick it up another notch.
Yeah,
and I didn't even have any plastic surgery when I was doing all that yet. So it was,
A good breakup's good for motivation though, don't you think? Like that's when you like kind of get going again.
I told my husband, I'm like, just break up with me for like a month.
Yeah,
And
like
then
just see what happens.
turbo.
Yeah, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lauryn, if you dump me, I would be like,
Yeah, it'll be over for you.
If I dumped you, you would put in your bio, Lauryn, Bostic's ex-husband.
oh, I've talked about this for years. I wouldn't put my dating bios would just be like Lauren's ex. I would use all that. I'd take pictures of us from the past. I feel
the
like
girlfriend would be like, but are we spending Thanksgiving with Lauryn?
no, I'd be like,
Yeah, you're like instant.
listen, I tell my friends, well, one way is good as another. You know what I mean? Like, let's not make it hard.
Yeah.
What advice, this was a question a lot of the audience asked, would you give to single mothers out there?
Okay, so this is what my dad said about me, and I've done this as being a parent as well, and that's just don't kill their spirit. There's things about Hudson that are quirky, or say if he's, I just let him be him. I try not to be extremely hardcore or make him the envision that I want him to be. I let him be himself. So
I love that advice, like not projecting your personality onto them either.
Yeah.
Like my daughter is a little bit more of an observer than I am. When I was little, I was like came out tap dancing of the womb. And she's not like that. She takes a little bit longer to get to know. She wants to vet you. And so I always I really think about that. Like I don't want to project my personality onto her.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you have to do.
The scene of you with your, and I don't know that you saw this episode because you would have totally mentioned it. The scene with your little boy getting bullied.
Oh no, I did see that. It pissed me off. I did see that.
Oh my God. I just hate that they cut the part where I went over to the lady's house. Yeah. You want to talk about like.
What did you say?
Well, of course, no one was home. So what do? I like start talking to the Ring camera, like ringing it. I'm like, hey, I'm writing you a note in case your like little shit kid tears it up, but I need you to call me. Like we have a problem. And the kid was in 3rd grade. No parents were home. So the kid's just out there running in the road by himself. And so I instantly I told Hudson, I said, he clearly has issues with family issues. I mean, how could you just leave him outside running around? So then I kind of refrained from getting any crazier. But that was something that I've never heard anyone speak about, is the bullying, and having to witness that was really hard. That obviously there was no script for that when he comes walking in crying. He wasn't even supposed to be filming that day when Hudson walked in.
I don't know what I would do in this situation.
Well, I started crying because I was like, I'm going to freak out. Like, please. And my husband's like, okay. I was like, I know I might go to jail. Help me. Like, I'm like shaking. I don't know what to do.
I don't think that's something you could understand if you haven't become a parent yet.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like I said, I don't know what I would do. I'd probably go to jail.
Yeah. You think it. You're like, oh my God.
Because you can't do anything to the kid, but like,
no.
I'd have to go and like find the dad and like probably do something to the dad.
Right.
You know, like it'd be like, or like if they're not talking, they gotta like, because I think when you become a parent, you're obviously protective of yourself as an individual, but people don't understand there's some trigger that happens when you have a child. It's so much more important to protect that child than even yourself. Like imagine like if you've gone through life as the most important thing in your life is yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think, and like maybe your family members, but then you have this child and you're like, you will do anything.
Oh, for sure.
I can't imagine.
I think it's
like.
important
For sure.
though that the show left that in, because it showed like your mama bear instincts toward your son, and you guys had this history of you being a single mom, and the show has showed you work so hard, whether you were doing your glam or running your business. It showed you work, and then it was a moment that you're right. That moment hasn't really been caught that I've seen on reality television. And the way that you handled it was very graceful. And I thought that it was good they left it in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's the part after where I was like, get your shoes, we're getting in the car. Okay. So, at this point I could care less who was in the room. I was like, either you're following me where I'm going or what. And maybe it's a good thing they were there. That's what my husband says. Like, I think you toned it down, thankfully, because of the cameras. I was like, but my son's in the back seat and he goes, that lady don't know who my mama is. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I don't even think you know like how I'm feeling right now. But it was the worst. That was the worst day in filming history I've had so far.
I'm taking my multivitamin into the new year with me. I'm not leaving it. I love this multivitamin. I've been taking it for the last 4 years. It's absolutely amazing because it has 9 key nutrients, and it's also a 2 delayed release capsule. So what you do is you take 1 a day. It's gentle on an empty stomach. It also has like a minty essence in every bottle, which helps make taking your multivitamins actually enjoyable. I keep it on my vanity. It's by Ritual. The one that I like, because there are quite a few on their site, is the Ritual Essential for Women. And this is the one that I swear by. I took their prenatal when I was pregnant, but basically the Essential for Women is the one that I always reach for. So what I like about this vitamin is that it really increases your vitamin D levels and your omega-3 DHA levels. These are so important, especially in women. And the reason I know this is because I've had the opportunity to interview so many different experts and authorities in the space of supplements, and they've basically all said the same thing. Ritual is bioavailable, it's clean, it's high quality, it's traceable, and it's also non-GMO, vegan, and gluten and major allergen free. They thought of everything. No more shady business. Ritual's Essential for Women 18 Plus is a multivitamin you can actually trust. Get 25% off your first month at ritual.com/skinny. Start Ritual or add Essential for Women 18 Plus to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/skinny. You get 25% off.
This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place, all on your own terms. The holidays are upon us, and more importantly, the new year is approaching. If you've been thinking about starting your own brand, your own blog, your own website, your own online business, Squarespace can help you do so. Quit procrastinating and get going with Squarespace. Lauryn and I could not be bigger proponents of owning your own brand, your own platform, your own e-com store, anything that can help you build the future of your dreams, whether that's a side hustle or a business or a merch store or a website or a platform, whatever it may be, blog, you name it, Squarespace helps you create it online. We've been around long enough to know how hard it used to be to stand up your own store, your own business, your own platform, your own website. So whether you want to build custom merch, an online store, if you want to create a video collection, if you want to manage an email campaign, if you want to have your own analytics, even if you want to build your own courses or subscription content, Squarespace can help you do so. Of course, we have a special offer. Head over to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to www.squarespace.com/skinny to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Again, that's squarespace.com/skinny to save 10% off of your purchase of a website or domain. Check it out.
Lab-grown diamonds. Do I have your attention? They have high-quality lab-grown diamonds that are hand-finished and set into seasonal collections and classics with character. Let me introduce you to Lightbox. Lightbox is starting at $500 per carat. They have free shipping and free returns. And it's kind of amazing. So they're grown through science, beautiful by design. The lab-grown diamonds are grown using 100% wind power, which is wild, and 100% renewable energy. They're grown to be gifted. If you're unfamiliar with Lightbox, they're a fashion-forward, lab-grown diamond brand with a modern approach. They champion the innovation at heart of what they do, and they Focus on the creativity it takes to bring ideas to life and the expertise it takes to make something beautiful. They have so many high quality lab grown diamonds. Like I said, everything's carefully curated. They have essential pieces like tennis necklaces or bracelets or huggy hoops. Everything shows their versatility of exceptional stones. I would highly recommend sending this as a little nudge to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, who doesn't want to unwrap sparkle this holiday. Lightbox has great gifting options from lab-grown diamond studs to loose lab-grown diamonds in different shapes and sizes that you can literally set into your own custom piece. Discover Lightbox Jewelry's lab-grown diamonds for yourself on lightboxjewelry.com. Plus, all new customers will get 10% off their first order on lightboxjewelry.com using the code SKINNY10. That's lightboxjewelry.com with code SKINNY10.
What is a misconception you think the audience is unaware of when it comes to filming a show like this? Like, is there something that you wish people would know that they just don't know as being an audience member?
I mean, yeah, but I probably shouldn't say that.
No, just say it.
Okay. I mean, no peer pressure. I mean, I think that like, for me, it's one of those things, being newly married and people see me hanging around an ex, they assume that like I'm doing this just because I want to go hang out with them. But I'm getting paid to be here and have this conversation and be in the same room. So that's what we're doing.
It's also more than just getting paid, in my opinion. It's like an incredible platform for you to do what you do and have mobility to move how you move. I mean, billboards, entrepreneur endeavors, businesses, like you're doing, in my opinion, like you're also doing it as a mother.
But what you're saying is if you weren't filming a show with another cast member, you would not be in that situation as a normal person that wasn't filming a show.
Not really rocket science.
Well, I know it's not rocket science, but that's what I'm saying. Sometimes people, they forget that it's reality TV, but there is, it is amped up a bit.
I think people forget that there's 15 people in a room when you're filming.
Right now, who is your favorite on the cast besides your husband and Hudson?
I mean, we'll take Patricia out of that too, because she's always my favorite. Oh, this one's going to be hard because it's Craig. I mean, I love Craig. And then it's Austin.
So you guys are friends.
Yeah.
You guys are truly friends.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you didn't add Shep in there.
Well, yeah, because, he'll always be a little bit on the outs, but all season, the producers were calling us the core four. So 3 guys and myself.
So is that your husband's seems very confident and cool. He's like, those are your friends.
Yeah. He has nothing to be insecure about with that.
If I was on that show, I feel like I would be the same way.
Yeah.
I would be with those 3 guys. It's there's almost something like Michael, there's almost a feminine energy, and I mean that in a nice way. Michael has a feminine energy too. I like when guys are comfortable with their feminine energy. Like the fact that Craig has his sewing company is so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. He leans into it.
I'm really manly, Lauryn, right?
No,
well, Craig, I'm trying to be Martha Stewart, and Craig is giving me a run for my money. I'm like, Craig, okay, don't start baking now because I want to do that. So
why don't you guys do a collaboration?
We should.
Some kind of Madison,
period.
A kitchen collection.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to share all that with me, but we'll see.
I like Craig. I feel like we would get along. I want him to come on this show. We have some mutual.
Yeah, you should.
Friends. Yeah, he seems like he'd be a fun
We
guy
also
to talk
like
to.
Paige. Adorable.
I know, she's so cute.
Adorable. Who is someone that's new that's coming on the cast that you're like,
Well, I brought all the new ones on, so I like them.
You like all the new ones?
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you're not loving on the cast?
Well, he's gone now, but yeah.
JT.
Yeah.
And have you always not gotten along with him, or is this a new development in the season?
This is new, brand new. I mean, I actually thought he was good for the show because everyone needs that one crazy ass person. He made me look completely normal, so I enjoyed him being on the show.
What are the things that viewers are going to be surprised about this season? Why is this a good season? Because you can tell it's going to be good. Why is it juicy?
Oh, one, we're getting a lot of episodes, so that's when you know it's going to be good. But we've got a messy group this year. It's messy. And everybody wants, to be number one. So you'll see a lot of that.
How do you guys navigate that from a competition? Like, is there jealousy? Does it feel like it's a competition? Is it like, hey, that person got more camera time?
I mean, I think the guys feel that way. I don't really.
You don't think the girls do too?
Probably.
She's been kind of an effortless star.
You're like, it hasn't been my issue.
Yeah, it hasn't been my issue, but
I mean, I don't know that she's the right person to ask that.
Yeah.
I will say I went from being forbidden, like the forbidden fruit of the group, to now being the narrator and the voice of the show. So very
you know
proud.
What? That's evolved though.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm living like my dream life in the sense of, I was working 6 days a week, doing hair and things like that. And now I'm able to be home and be present and travel and do all the things.
What is your day to day that's not shown on the air? Like, what is the normal moments for Madison?
Okay, so I do flowers every Monday. Like I cut flowers in my house. I'm a little like homemaker. I don't know if they're going to show a lot of that this year, but that's
I can
like
see it from your house. Yeah.
But I think that they show me very stern, and I'm a little soft in my home at least. So I'm in my feminine energy for once.
That's really funny that you say that. I was doing an interview and I said that exact same thing. I'm super masculine, but when I'm home, I'm like, it's like you get like a totally different version.
I know you have me listening to jazz music and stuff. I mean, I
want to like I bake brownies and like light incense and just listen to Christmas jazz. I feel like you have to have that balance though, because you do have a masculine energy.
Yeah.
I relate to that.
Yeah.
And it makes total sense that at home you're more feminine.
Mm-hmm.
What are other normal moments? Like, are you taking Hudson to school? Like, what are you doing throughout the day? Are you building another business? Like, what are you doing that we wouldn't see maybe on the show?
So my husband and we're going into business together, but I know, I need all the tips. So I wanted to do a pajama line because I wanted something that was like comfy and feminine, but still reasonable, because sometimes when I post, these pajamas, my girls are like, Madison, come on, I'm not paying $200 for pajamas. And I was like, you don't need to. I'm just going to make some that everybody can afford and do. And that's kind of been exciting to see that come to light. And it'll be called LeCroy under my last name. So I'm excited. And kind of trying to navigate that has been very interesting. So
from what perspective?
That I'm a pajama connoisseur and I will be the first to wear your pajamas. I love pajamas.
Oh, I can't wait to send you a big box.
I can't wait to try your pajamas. Are they colors or prints or silk or what?
So we're going to start just like solid.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy until I get into like seasonal stuff. But yeah.
What's been the back end of building that business?
Well, I didn't realize how many opinions my husband had on styles. That's been the most interesting part about it. He's like,
opinions.
yeah, I was like, woo, okay. I was like, I hate that. But it's been good. I don't know. It's going to be hard, I think. But overall, the vision that we both came up with, I think is going to be really good. So
this is what I'll say. It's the most challenging thing.
Careful.
No, it's the most challenging thing to work with your partner, especially when they want to blab about it every second.
Yeah.
But it's super rewarding if it works. And I do think it will work for you guys because your personalities seem very synergistic. If you were both one way, I think it's harder. That's my opinion.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right on that.
I mean, he knows he's like operations and logistics, and I'm more like the visionary.
Yeah.
Or at least that's how you see it.
Ideas.
I see that. No.
And all the aesthetic.
Yeah, all the
and
aesthetic.
you just stick to the back room, bitch.
Yeah.
I think if I could give you any advice, we were good at defining the lanes early on.
Okay.
Like, I will have a perspective and an opinion on aesthetic sometimes, but then like I'll share it, and at the end of the day, it's like she's final say, right?
Yeah.
But if like on the other side, like if it is operational or financial, it's like I'll listen to her opinion, but then I'll have fun. We kind of got. I think when you say like everybody's got an equal say in everything,
Yeah.
this is my opinion as someone who's worked with my spouse.
Right.
I think that gets dicey because then it's like I look at it like this: if you're running a company, and I feel this way, whenever I see co-CEOs, I'm like, oh, that thing's not going to go very well. Like you need to have somebody that's like the final say in something. And so for her business, like she's the CEO for Dear Media, like you got to have that, because if not, then it gets to the point where you're fighting all the time.
Yeah. I kind of was like, just give me your money and I'll handle it. But
that works.
Are there any portrayals that you think are unfair at this point that you wish they would change or that you could speak to? Or you feel like it's kind of now you've done it for long enough that it's all kind of come out and evened out?
Yeah. I mean,
like I imagine like, are there seasons that you finish and you're like, that season was unfair and I didn't get to like bookend how I'm either looking or feeling. Does that make sense?
Well, I only see it the day before the public. So I really don't know. I have no control over it. So it's almost like this is what you're given, take it or leave it. And, you know.
You haven't seen it yet.
I know.
So are there any seasons where you've called him and like, that's not fair, that's not cool, change that? Or has it just been like, shit, it is what it is?
What's she going to do?
Yeah. I mean, you kind of can't do anything. But a lot of times I'll look at an episode. I kind of wait till the season's over before I give my opinions, because I think of it as like, if I'm going to phone a friend, like my higher ups that I'm going to complain to, I'm going to make sure that like they realize like this is the problem and I never want that to happen again or be portrayed in that way. And they normally will listen, but I think it's the person that calls after every episode that they end up pinning to look bad.
Quick break to talk about Fatty 15. Lauryn and I just did a fascinating episode with Dr. Stephanie Venn Watson. If you haven't checked out that episode yet, I highly suggest that you do so. We were blown away talking to Dr. Venn Watson all about one of the first essential fatty acids to be discovered in 90 years called C15. What if I told you there was something that was 3 times better, broader, and safer than omega-3 fatty acids? Well, that's what I'm going to talk to you right now about, which is the Fatty 15 C15 supplement. Fatty 15 co-founder Dr. Stephanie Venn Watson discovered C15 as the first essential fatty acid to be found in over 90 years while working with the U.S. Navy to continually improve the health and welfare of aging dolphins. Like I said, this is a wild story. If you check out the episode we did with her, you'll hear all about it. By improving our C15 levels, we are going to age better. We're going to age more gracefully. We're going to feel better. We're going to perform better. Everything in our life will improve by just upping the C15 levels, which Fatty 15 can do. Fatty 15 is a science-backed, award-winning vegan and pure C15 supplement. There's only one ingredient, which is C15. By replenishing our cells with the essential C15 nutrient, Fatty 15 effectively repairs our cells and restores our long-term health. And of course, we have a special offer. Fatty 15 is on a mission to replenish your C15 levels and restore your long-term health. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/skinny and using code skinny at checkout. Again, that's fatty15.com/skinny, code skinny. I also highly suggest you check out the episode we did with Dr. Venn Watson. Enjoy. It's official. We are in a new year, which means it's not just about a new you, but it's also about understanding your finances, getting financially healthy, and understanding your goals surrounding money. This is why I'm so excited to talk to you guys today about Domain Money. Their team of experts don't just give you generic advice for what to do with your money. They build you a clear, actionable plan to help you create the life you want to lead, get answers to all of your burning money questions, and help you to feel confident that you're doing all the smartest things to build wealth. I understand the subject of money and finance is overwhelming to so many people. It was for me at one point too. But one of the biggest risks that you can have when it comes to your financial health and literacy is just not understanding what to do with money, how to save it, how to invest it, how to make it, which is why I love Domain Money so much. Ever since I started learning about money and understanding personal finance, much of the stress in my life has gone away. One of the most shocking statistics that I learned on my quest to learn more about money is how many divorces and splits happen due to financial illiteracy between couples not understanding money, not knowing what to do with it. And again, once you figure out how money works and how to save it and how to invest it, everything in your life is going to improve because you're going to get rid of the stress surrounding finances. So for a limited time, Domain Money is offering our listeners of this show a free 30-minute strategy session. Yes, that's free. There's no reason why you shouldn't do this. Get ahead with expert financial planning designed for you and the life you want to lead. Head to domainmoney.com/himandher to book a free strategy session now. That's domainmoney.com/himandher to book a session now. It's free. You'd be crazy not to take advantage. We are not Domain Money clients and receive cash compensation for this endorsement, therefore have an incentive to promote Domain Money.
I like to have something cute that I take my kids to school. And in Austin right now, it's freezing in the morning. And I found the cutest fleece half zip up. So you want to get, I think, a size up if you can. So I got it in medium. Sometimes I would go small, but for this, I would go medium. I got it in black and I also got it in white. It's so cute. It's by Travis Mathew. And it's just a really plain, simple, chic zip up. It goes with everything. Sometimes I'll wear a vest over mine to drop my kids off at school. Sometimes I'll wear it with a legging. You can take it to the gym. It's really simple. It's relaxed. It's very like trend forward. So I feel like it fits right. It looks very youthful and it's also very flattering. And they also just make sure that you feel confident in what they're wearing. And what I like about it is it's very simple. So there's not like a ton of prints. I'm someone that likes very, very simple. I like to keep it monochromatic. They have navy on there. They have all the colors I love. And it's such a good one to throw on in the mornings when it's cold. Even if it's not cold, they kind of have something for everyone. Consider Travis Mathew your holiday headquarters and discover the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Visit travismathew.com and receive 20% off your order with code SKINNY. Give the gift of Travis Mathew this year and make every celebration even more memorable. Discover the perfect gift for everyone on your list by visiting travismathew.com and get 20% off your order with code SKINNY.
Obviously, these episodes that we do, they get clipped.
Mhm.
And I never care if somebody sees something out of context on the internet, like in a clip, and then they see it and they, have a perspective, because I know that the full context always lives in the long form that we produce. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah.
But I would imagine I would be super frustrated if I was you and things were being pulled out of context and then they never got to see the
What do you
long
mean? That's
form.
the whole show.
No, I know that.
Well,
Like,
the trailer
Then
is
you'd be
the
frustrated.
but even like the episode that comes out, I imagine there's stuff that they just don't show or context that doesn't get seen ever. Where here, like the full context always lives. Does that make sense?
right. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things you kind of sign yourself to the devil. I mean, you're like, we own you, and we're gonna say and do whatever you want. Sometimes I've even said things in the past, and I'd be talking about something completely different, and then they would pan it to a whole nother story. And I'm like, but wait, that's not how I said that, or who I was even talking to.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like someone could pull some clip of me, but then if they go back to the full, it's in full context. With
Yeah.
you, like they can literally take something and mash it to something else that's not even the same conversation.
It's like it's the gig.
Yeah. I just wonder how the heck they do it, because it ends up like I'm talking exactly about that one thing that they're. Yeah.
What's the worst moment you've had on air and your proudest moment?
Obviously, I feel like my reunions can sometimes be my worst moment. I mean,
I like them.
yeah, they're really, I don't like that feeling of feeling ganged up on, especially when you have like 6 people coming to you at one time. I know I'll end up being fine, but it's just uncomfortable because you can't just get up and run away, which some people do. But I think my proudest moment would be becoming the narrator of the show. Has been a really proud moment of mine.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
Because I'm like, listen up, bitches.
Yeah, I can't wait. You've been so open about plastic surgery. I appreciate it so much, because I was just having this conversation with my friend Katie on air, and she's like, she was talking about how all these celebrities are getting facelifts and brow lifts and neck lifts, and no one's honest, and everyone just thinks they're using filler.
Yeah.
And you've been so honest, and I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
What has the reaction been like? I'm going to guess it's been positive.
Yeah. I mean, my following is 98% female.
Okay.
So it's like me talking to the girls when I'm telling them, hey, listen, I got to my lowest weight. I had a 10-pound, 9-ounce baby. My skin was loose and I needed a tummy tuck. So that's why
I didn't know
did
you
it.
talked about a tummy tuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that one. That's not what I
Yeah.
was talking about.
Mommy makeover. Never a facelift.
I know you didn't get a facelift.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Madison. Do not pull that clip publication. I'm talking about other celebrities that I talked about on a podcast, not Madison. I was actually talking about your boobs.
Yeah.
Tummy tuck. Tell me about that.
Oh, it's brutal.
Does it hurt?
Yeah.
Would you do it again though?
Oh, yeah.
So you love how it looks.
Yeah.
So here's
Why
my.
is it painful? What do they?
What do you mean? Why is it?
Well, I don't
painful?
know.
I mean, you know.
Let me take your balls and throw them over your fucking shoulder, Michael.
Doesn't seem like the same thing.
Yeah. Or to your butt crack. Nah.
Ow.
Sorry,
would
we won't
reach
gang
there.
up on you. No.
Well, I'm just wondering. I'm
Wait,
just like,
I need to know about a tummy tuck. So it hurts a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the whole process?
So I did breast and tummy tuck at the same time. So small implant with a lift. Yeah. And then like I said, I was probably like 10 pounds lighter than I am right now when I had this surgery. So it wasn't like this thing where people think, okay, you're removing fat. That wasn't the reason I was doing the tummy tuck. It was just the skin from the baby. And they just sew it, they pull it down, sew it right back up, and you're kind of stuck like this.
Wait, I have this weird question that I think about like every day.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they do it up?
That's what I said. Because you want the belly button to go up, right?
I like everything to go up.
But maybe
Me
they
too.
Can't pull it. Then is there a
That's
scar?
what I'm wondering. I'm just
Yeah.
the scar.
But I was like, well, if you're going to do the boobs, why not just pull the up and then stitch it from the underneath? Thank goodness I'm not a doctor, but
Maybe there's something anatomy.
They've been doing it wrong this whole time.
I
What do
know,
these
like,
guys
come
know?
on, use your brain.
So here's my question. You've talked about maybe wanting to get pregnant again.
Yeah.
So do you have to get another tummy tuck? Not you, but like,
Oh, I
do
will.
they tell you have to get another tummy tuck after you get pregnant again?
Well, first off, that's why I'm terrified of being pregnant. I know it's worth it. Like, I feel like, I've been in shape before after a baby. I can do it again. All that kind of stuff doesn't bother me, but it's more of like, it is tight, So to have a baby, which I'm praying for like Thumbelina or something. Not really, but I'm gonna be very mindful.
Tom Bell.
I'm gonna be very mindful.
The micro dick I saw before Michael's.
Oh my God. But yeah, I'm scared of that, but I will be doing a tummy tuck again.
Okay, so it's one of those things that if you get like, I'm just wondering, like, if I was gonna have more kids, you wouldn't get it.
No.
I guess you could get it done, but then you get it done again.
Yeah.
I wish
So
it would
did you
just
do
last-
this before?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm ignorant to this. Did you think you were done having kids and now you okay?
Yeah.
So now you're like, I was finished, but now you might be going back into it.
Yes. And I'm looking at my husband like, boy, you're crazy.
He's ready to go back into it.
Oh yeah.
That's a gnarly endeavor to think you're done
Mm-hmm.
and then go. You have to kind of wrap your mind around it.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy. You had your
I
first
know.
child at 22. That's real. I mean, I know people do that, but that's very young. I mean, because we had ours at 33. So it's,
Yeah. I'm 34 now, so I'm gonna start all over.
Does he want 1 or 5?
Well, one would
start
be
with
fine. But I'm like, if I'm gonna ruin it all over again, might as well have 2.
Yeah, you could throw twins in there.
No. Like I said, I don't know how am I even gonna be able to.
You're going to do great. And like you said, you already know what to do.
Yeah.
I also will tell you, my first pregnancy, I didn't know anything about weightlifting
Mm-hmm.
and gained so much weight. And then the second pregnancy, I did know about weightlifting and I was able to do it the whole pregnancy. And it was a completely different experience.
Yeah. See, I've never done weightlifting pregnant.
So it's different.
Yeah.
Like it will be different. So
Mhm.
don't feel, I hope your baby's not 10 pounds though.
Yeah. No, like I said, I'm going to be on my same diet that I'm
No,
on
you
right
want a
now.
big, healthy
Not
baby.
diet, but mindful eating,
Yeah, great. They're going to pull the clip. Madison LeCroy says she's going to diet while pregnant.
And smoke cigarettes. And
Yeah. What is the best advice that Patricia has ever given you? And you could give us a lot of pieces. I think it's such a special relationship that you guys have.
Well, a lot of the things she tells me I couldn't say on here. I'll let her do that.
Mhm.
But she always told me you are single until proven engaged. So until the man tells you like, listen, I'm going to marry you, blah, 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 don't close off opportunities for somebody who is ready and et cetera.
I like when she says, I'm no shrinking violet.
Everything she says is just iconic.
I studied her book, The Art of Charm.
Yeah.
She tells you what stationery to buy, what sheets to get, what linens. I mean, she's really an incredible tastemaker.
we
Yeah.
did an episode with her.
Does she know in
once,
her house?
And we went to the house a long time
Yeah,
ago.
she talks about you too.
We
I
love
told her I was coming here and she's like, oh, tell them I said hello.
we haven't seen her. I would like to see her again. We haven't seen her in a
I'm
while.
her biggest fan.
Oh,
You
well,
can tell.
she loves you.
I'm
so
her biggest fan. I think she's absolutely fabulous.
She is. I mean, and stunning. I mean, I gave
Beautiful.
her her first spray tan one time. And let me just say, the woman, I'm like, you have the fountain of youth back here. Let me get a little like
Yeah.
swig of that.
Oh, when I went to interview her, I was like, let me look in your bathroom.
Yeah.
I was like, Dr. Dennis Gross pads. I mean, she's really like, she has gorgeous skin.
Yes.
Speaking of skin, you got to give us some beauty and skin tips. I feel like did you do your own makeup today?
No.
Oh, well, you do your own makeup and hair, I feel like.
I do.
Okay, you have the tips. Give
Yes.
us the tips.
Okay. Good skincare, obviously, to start flawless makeup, number
Okay.
one. I do think that as I get older, less is more when it comes to foundation and things like that. Powder can be a little harsh, but when you're in camera and things like that, obviously we're piling that on. So day to day, be light-handed.
I agree. It's youthful.
Yeah.
The too much makeup look, it ages you.
Okay, can I tell you something? I was like, am I going to get a spray tan? And then I was like, I don't know. I think spray tans are going out. And then I was like, wait, Lauren's not, she doesn't look like tan, like a spray tan. I was like, fuck it. I'm not getting a spray tan. So I'm out here raw. I have tights on.
I like how it looks. I like how it looks.
It does. It looks better, right?
Lauren's absurd. She'll be like, don't use any cologne, which is fine. I don't. And then she'll have somebody once in a while come in with like a giant paint gun.
No,
from like
I haven't gotten a spray tan in a while. I do think that it makes you look sometimes
Cheap.
long in the tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the person, it's like you're going
I'm
through a
using
paint
that
booth.
one.
The person's like, she's like, don't spray that cologne. And there's like this person like with like a
Yeah.
giant spray gun.
Okay, well, your hairspray is atrocious.
I don't
It's
use
really
it. I didn't use hairspray anymore.
Okay, well, give
Called
us some juicy gossip about the boys of Southern Charm. What's something funny about them?
I feel like they are, what you see on TV is what you get in real life.
Okay,
I mean, they are that crazy and funny.
they remind me
Dramatic.
of like, the three characters from like a Disney show.
Yes. It's like, yes. I was going to say like Hocus Pocus, but I'm trying to think what, I don't know. They fight, they get back together. They're all just like
They're-
in love with each other.
Yeah, it's like so endearing.
It's like just be together.
Yeah,
We should go down. We should go back to Charleston.
we're gonna go back to Charleston.
We keep saying we're going to
Yeah,
do it.
come on.
You know, my doctor and my favorite skin person is in Charleston. If you don't go to
The
them, you have
Conivers.
to.
Do you know the Conivers?
No. Is that your
Funny
skin
enough,
people?
Dr. Craig Conover is the same name as Craig Conover, but this is Dr. Craig
Oh.
Conover, and he's in Charleston.
If
Not to be
I
confused
lived
with
in
Craig
Charleston,
Conover.
I
Don't
would
tell him
be
that. He'll start calling
at-
himself doctor. I mean,
at Kelly Conover's office
Mhm.
every week. I'm going to introduce you to her.
oh my God, please.
Not that you need anything.
No, I do.
But her skin is so fabulous. She's like
They're the best.
Are we doing NAD now? Have y'all?
I get it from
she has
Dr. Craig
we
Conover.
get it from Dr. Craig.
Bingo. That's all I need to know.
He's there. He's the best. And his, and,
I'm going to
and
put you
Kelly's
on
the
text
best
with
too.
them. You have
Okay.
to,
Okay.
They do like anything useful.
Okay.
They're the best.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go down there and make a cameo in Southern Charm.
No,
Lauren.
we're gonna come down.
next party I'm
I
having.
think that the next interview with Madison is at Patricia's house.
Let's invite
over-
ourselves over.
Yeah,
No.
over martinis and caviar,
Oh.
and we do a whole interview with both of you guys.
We would love that.
Yeah.
And then you guys can tell us how we get started on our podcast.
I'm gonna tell you before then. You
I'll
guys,
tell you that
Okay.
before then. We'll tell you that.
Okay.
and you will crush it, which I'll tell you off air. Before you go,
Mm-hmm.
how do you make a Madison taco? I saw this TikTok. I don't know if it was a taco or a wrap. Excuse me. How do you make a Madison wrap?
Oh, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I make tacos.
A wrap. It's a wrap.
Okay. Well, now with all the listeria, I don't really eat deli meat anymore, but
Listeria from the
Yeah.
deli meat?
yeah. Have you not seen the boar's head? Everybody's dying.
I don't read
Lauren,
the news.
we're going to be the first ones to go. Lauren's be like, I made you
I drink
something.
raw
And I'm
milk,
gonna,
so.
Oh, I mean,
Okay, tell us about the listeria meat wrap.
okay. It's
how
listeria.
enticing. How
Okay,
appetizing.
no. I mean, okay, so the wrap starts with like a spinach wrap, turkey, lettuce. You could throw a pickle in there if you're getting crazy. A little spicy mustard, and that's kind of it. It's
And
pretty
you
plain.
make this wrap after you work out all the time on TikTok. Michael, it looks so good.
It sounds good. It doesn't sound that groundbreaking, to be honest.
It's not.
It's pretty groundbreaking.
I will say I'm so plain when it comes to like the things that I eat. Now it's one thing if I'm going to go like make a meal for my family and stuff, I'll get, more intense with it. But for me, I'm just like, I just got to get through. I don't live to like eat is my thing.
I
just,
think
It's like
that's
fuel.
aware.
Yeah.
That's how Michael is too. I think that you should try my bowl of beef. If you're scared of deli meat, I think
I
you should
did.
switch. You should try my bowl of beef. Just do exactly what you did with the wrap, but do it in a bowl of beef,
okay. Yeah.
like a Force of Nature ground beef.
Yeah. Mine was tasting really gamey. I don't know why.
Did you use Ancestral Blend, Force of Nature?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I'll
that
let-
one is like there is a
Well, there's some heart and liver in that
there's
one.
some heart
Okay.
and liver, but heart and liver is so good for your hair and nails. I feel like if you just put some cheese on it and
Oh,
some
yeah.
sauce, you just get it down.
Okay. I'll do that.
I'm going to show you the right one.
Hold up on the deli meat until, they give us the clear, but Don't
I'm
try
not really like a follow the news to listeria kind of person. I feel like I'll still eat it.
I will say this: if I die from eating deli meat, just know I'll be pissed off. Like, I mean, I would be livid.
It's not a good way to go out.
No.
You know, imagine like all the things you've done in your life, and then like the headline is like, deli meat took her out.
I could see Lauryn Bostic dying from raw milk.
That would be a turn of events.
Madison, where can everyone find you? You guys go watch all her Instagram story highlights. They're
if
so
you
good.
die, am I moving to Charleston?
Sure. What's the ratio for
Ratio's
guys?
pretty good. Ratio's pretty good. Carson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8-1.
8-1.
8-1.
I mean, listen,
You'd be exhausted and there it's.
It would just be like me, and I would take a picture with your gravestone and be like, "This is Lauryn, my ex."
Yeah.
And here I am.
You could be
Charleston.
the fourth guy on
I'll
Southern
adopt an accent real quick.
Do your accent.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
No, you can do it.
No,
Come on, do your Southern accent.
I can't.
You
I have
have
to,
one you do in the car all the time.
I can only do it. I can only do it if I'm around somebody talking for a while.
You
like,
just
like
were around someone.
No, I need like 3 days.
He does it. I'm going to record it when he's doing it.
Okay, good.
Madison, where can everyone find you? Support your pajama line. Where can they follow you on TikTok? Tell us all the things.
Follow me at Madison LeCroy.
What is in Madison
Gotta do
LeCroy's
it for
bag?
the TikTok.
No, you can't interrupt me.
I'm not interrupting.
What?
Oh, that's
cute.
a handbag.
What?
Well,
that's a Thumbelina bag.
Yeah. To start, my patience, I guess we have in
This
here.
is like brass knuckles.
What is
That's
in
a
Madison? What is in Madison LeCroy's bag?
It's a weapon. Look at that thing.
Well, this is like Mary Poppins. You're going to be shocked when you see everything. Okay. We have Lip Liner by Lawless.
Love her lip liner.
We have a hair tie. Laneige. Is that how you say that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Love that one.
Okay. An elixir. You know, a good little
Okay.
Lumify. I didn't bring any money, but phone charger, just in case. Tide pen. Keeps going.
Man, there's a lot in there.
Little toothbrush.
You two got a lot in there.
Yeah,
2 bobby pins, because sometimes you just need to throw up an updo. And some little perfume.
Love it.
That's all.
Madison, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for
having me.
doing this. Thank you for making the trip.